Cena ended his long, illustrious career 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. It's been a long time. The never seen 17 said goodbye, going out on his back and tapping
With a
out.
smile.
Yeah,
With a
boy.
smile.
A
With a smile.
smile of relief that the run
Oh,
was
fuck this
over.
place.
Yeah, word. This
I've
is
quit.
somebody else's.
I've quit many a job. I know what that fucking smile looks like, dude. Fuck
so
this
I yeah,
place.
so he's fucking out of here. He's gone. He's done. But the conversation has had or has been had on many platforms about the actual farewell tour itself, from beginning to end. Was it a failure? Was it a success? Did they do it right? Was he robbed? And I guess the first question that we need to answer is, what is success? Right?
What
A
is
lot of
love?
people, a lot of people are saying, well, they totally fumbled his entire retirement tour. And then there's another group of people saying, well, at the very least, we got some great moments out of it. What would have been success? What would have been the one thing where everyone would have just collectively been like, that's how you send the guy off for a full year? What is he supposed to just beat everybody? Go completely undefeated from January to December, and then at the end he wins again. And at the end he just goes, "All right, guys, that's it. Thank you very much." They can't say he didn't put over young talent. He put over young talent. They can't say they didn't put him against his old rivals. They put him against old rivals. Sprinkle a little bit of this, sprinkle a little bit of that.
Some new guys, some people that I feel like I feel like some of the matches he like just wanted to work with some of these people, like have because I saw a lot more repeats of people he fought than I remember. Like he fought Cody almost 4 or 5 times, 4 times, whether it be in tag team. Like I think he actually has 3 single matches with him. 1, 2. There was a tag. It was like 3 or 4 times he actually fought Cody. So that when I saw that, like when I was doing the recap and stuff like that, I was looking at him like, you know what? I feel like that was his own little way of like fitting in some of the repeats and stuff that happened. Was like he was also trying to tell stories within this very short window of time. So it wasn't, he was like doing a bunch of checks. And if we're looking at it as a whole in hindsight, I do believe, to answer your question, there's 3. There's 3. I don't know why I'm saying 3, but like there's a couple of buckets of people. Your sarcastic comment, yes. But yes, people would have loved that. Like to some people, that would have been the great sign off. To me, go full hill all the way, be a douche, walk away, set the belt on fire, and walk out the ring. That would have been dope to see.
The last real champion.
That would have been fantastic to see. Or just come back, do the not the heel thing, just do the face all the way through, get the celebration, get the love, get to the end. And then even that ends too. Damn it, why do I keep throwing up 3? That ends up 2 different ways where it's where he's either looking at the lights, that discussion we had about looking up at the lights, or actually winning and bowing out with a victory. I think all those things exist. I think there's a person for every single one of those beginning and ends. But I already said where I stand. I really would have thought he would have been cool to see him go all the way heel. But at the end of the day, watching a lot of those clips back to back to back to back in succession, I think at the end of the day, the true winner here is Cena, and I feel like he had complete control over what he wanted to do here. He tried something. The switch back from heel over back to a face was so abrupt and quick that you almost, without the promos, you cannot tell at all, like almost at all. The only difference is he stopped hitting people with belts and doing low blows. That's when you kind of like see the transition. But other than that, besides that, the match really, he didn't really give you, like you couldn't really tell. So I think he just got a chance to try some things, do some things, run some storylines, wrestle with people he loved, wrestle with new people, try to give the rub to people. He did a lot in this very fucking small window of time. I think it was
36 dates.
I think it was a success.
I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback, a little bit on the he had creative control. on because there's a lot of people who are like, well, the tour went exactly the way that he wanted it to go. Starting to
I'm
yeah, I'm
not
starting to
saying that.
not the case. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying that there's people out there that are under the assumption. The response to a lot of people is, "You guys are acting like he didn't want this. They're doing it because they want him because he wants to do it." Now, I don't think that happened a lot. Actually, he did an interview with Cody Rhodes on what do you want to talk about podcast, and he was talking like somebody who no longer really gives a shit about what the company's. He's not under the same microscope as before. He still has a contract with WWE, but he was saying, like for instance, about the heel turn, he didn't think there was enough time to do a heel turn. According to him, he wasn't entirely sold on that idea. It doesn't look like. And then when it fell apart almost immediately because of the absence of certain people, then it became an albatross that he was trying to make work. So, as an example, and we'll get into that just very briefly, but let's pull this list up. What I decided to do to illustrate a point about how the farewell tour actually went, because it's in a vacuum. It's like picking parts of a movie without remembering those last few parts. If you watch all those movies in a row, you get a different perspective, right? So the farewell tour began on February 1st. And I'm not going to do Raw appearances, SmackDown appearances. I'm just doing the matches that he had, including some of the Saturday Night main events. I'm not entirely sure that he had. Yeah, he had a SmackDown. He had a SmackDown here, a Raw there. So just the matches to kind of give you an idea of story where it was going. February 1st, Royal Rumble, the farewell tour begins. He's number 23. Came out to the GOAT number, of course, number 23. But he's the runner-up at the Royal Rumble to Jey Uso, who would eventually go on to WrestleMania to become champion. That first match right there to me set the tone. I was in love with the idea of him being the
Mm-hmm.
guy who did the favor to the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
Mm-hmm.
it. I also love that it made my wife embarrass herself in Joe Pombo's house because she got extremely nervous that was going to go a different way. Now, mind you, he didn't win the Rumble and he still went to WrestleMania to face the champion. So, how about that?
Hmm.
Elimination Chamber, March 1st. We all know how that went down. CM Punk, Rollins, McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and John Cena. That was the night of the Elimination Chamber and the heel turn. Now, the people in question that was missing from the heel turn was The Rock and Travis Scott. Apparently, there was a whole plan, a whole idea for a bunch of shit that was supposed to happen. After that, zero follow up, and it all cascaded down from Travis Scott. Apparently, Travis Scott did some no showing, no call, no shows. He just wasn't appearing to certain places and certain meetings and being a part of the process. So they nixed it. They nixed him, they nixed The Rock, but they didn't nix the heel turn. So here we are. We're stuck here trying to make it work. For those of you who were like, oh, the heel turn failed, it failed immediately if you listen to the people behind the scenes because what ended up happening wasn't the plan. Which takes me to April 20th, WrestleMania 41. It sucks to know that the last WrestleMania John Cena is going to be a part of was as a heel that he didn't want to be a part of. I don't think anybody wanted that. The match reflected the heel turn, so it was a whole lot of nothing. People walked away from that. It's the worst WrestleMania main event of all time, and all kinds of garbage that came
I
from that.
wouldn't. That's a little extreme. I wouldn't say
Extremely extreme. There's been some bad WrestleMania main events.
that. I
And
just mean for Cena like himself. Like I don't remember that match in hindsight going, oh, that shit was garbage. I
yeah,
don't remember that.
but we're in the midst of the heel turn here with the Elimination Chamber, with that heel turn now being fresh. WrestleMania 41, kind of you kind of knew at the start of the farewell tour that Cena and Cody had to collide at some point because you knew they were going to put John in the main event scene for the farewell tour. That just makes the most sense. It's the farewell tour for one of the biggest main event draws they've ever had. So this was still, we're already in April, but it's still only 3 matches. And this is April. And by now, by this match, people are already calling this farewell tour a failure. The match that was right after this, May 10th, Backlash, Randy Orton. So now this is them putting him in familiar territory. right? An old rival. They actually both got a kick out of the fact that it's the first time that they wrestled each other in WWE with it reversed, where Randy was the babyface and John was the heel. And they had to have a different match. We actually did a watch along to prepare for that Backlash match, by the way. That's on the YouTube channel, folks.
Spoiler alert, I was
Yeah.
not impressed.
Yeah, he said, "Did you? No, do not like." May, we're still in May. 2 matches in the month of May, 24th. Saturday night's main event against R-Truth. That's the one, right? That's the one where it's like, okay, if he had any creative control, some of it was used here, right? They gave Ron Cena and John Cena the dream match that everyone's been wanting to see. Here in this situation where John and R-Truth still in the heel situation here. This we'll get to it now. June 7th, Money in the Bank, the tag team match. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. It's John Cena and Logan Paul, I believe, was his tag team partner. And now we're starting to hear it. Now it's June. Now we're halfway done. The criticisms is coming out. This is a failure. This is a bomb. They're fumbling. This is crazy. And I have a memory of still defending it. I'm still defending it because I'm looking at the results of this, right? He's in there with Cody. He's in there with Randy Orton. He's in there with R-Truth. These are guys that are in the Cena-verse in some way. There's nothing really crazy here. We get to June 20th, another match with R-Truth. 2 R-Truth matches on the goddamn farewell tour. Tell me, Jesus Christ, that this is not a thing, all right? This time, R-Truth won the match by DQ. Night of Champions. This is the Saudi Arabia match with Punk. Now, for everybody that was killing CM Punk for going to Saudi Arabia after everything that he had said, look at the list, and this is why. You got to get in where you fit in. They had some sort of an outline and only but so many opportunities. Punk wanted to get a match with John so bad. He was willing to eat the PR bullshit to go to Saudi Arabia. And here it is. He even gave Saudi Arabia the Punk Life promo. All right, where they turned it around, flipped it around. They did it with Randy. John and Randy did a flip, and then Punk and Cena did a flip where Cena gave Punk a pipe bomb promo. This right here, the Money in the Bank tag match into the Night of Champions with Punk, not for nothing. I know that people were hating on the heel stuff before. For me, the promo started to click. He was getting away a little bit from when he started as a heel. I felt like he was going too hard. He was trying, hate me, please. I'll say whatever. He's insulting kids. He's insulting audiences back and forth. Here, his heel turn, to me, in my opinion, started hitting a little better because now he stopped focusing on the audience and started focusing on the talent. Now he's being a heel toward the guys, right? We had made the comment when we talked about Saturday night's main event with Joe that the promos he was cutting as a heel, it was a weird time to cut those promos because he was cutting them to an audience that didn't deserve them. 20 years ago, the audience needed to hear that. The adults in the room now were the kids that backed you. What are you mad at me for? I didn't do shit to you. I've been on your bandwagon this whole time. So after Logan Paul, after that situation, he started cutting more promos toward the talent as opposed to the audiences. And I felt like the heel thing really started to get a little bit more tolerable. And then he immediately banned it because as soon as it clicked in the heads, it changed to something else. And it became, he got away from it completely. He just cut one promo where he shifted from heel to babyface. And then it takes us to SummerSlam August 3rd against Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one bout. That's when the quote-unquote real retirement run began for people, when he turned back to being a babyface and he was doing all of his old tricks and all the stuff he used to get shit on before for doing all the time, including changing up the colors of his shirt, which he did every appearance on this one. He OD'd on every color he could possibly think of. He rainbowed out, and they all loved him for it. This was the wrong time for it. That's all it was. It was the wrong time. That's the only reason why the heel run, in my opinion, didn't work. It was the wrong audience. These adults were the kids that loved him. They didn't want him to be a heel, and they learned that, and they got over it and said, "Fuck it." They immediately followed SummerSlam with a SmackDown tag team match. This is him as a babyface now. Is that him and Cody against McIntyre and Logan Paul? I can't remember. It doesn't list here who his partner was. Then the Clash of Paris match against Logan Paul, which people killed. I loved. I don't remember where you were on that. I loved the fact that John was giving this guy a pay-per-view title match just for the experience, just for Logan Paul to get in there with the guy and get that pacing, get that training. SmackDown, where they turned the tables September 5th against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn issuing an U.S. Open challenge against John Cena with that dope match. No contest because of the Brock Lesnar interference, which leads to WrestlePalooza. And the one match, even I can't defend. I have no idea why the fuck they did this, but John Cena explained it. Oh, we needed to build Lesnar back up so that he could just. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You really didn't. You didn't. You can continue to say that you didn't. You didn't.
It worked. Like, in a sense, it worked. Like, yeah, I'm not to say that he needed it.
Yeah.
But it did get people talking.
Right. It did get people talking about him.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, they got people talking. Yeah, they did. Then that leads me to October 11th, the Crown Jewel match with AJ Styles, which is the match that I think if people would have had it their way, that the way that match went, that would have been the final match. Just that whole tit for tat, the tribute style that they had, but they were doing each other's moves and they were doing other people's moves, and it was the backyard wrestling match where they just kept doing whatever it was they wanted to do to each other. Like, if people, I think in my heart,
I wonder if that was like the gimmick behind it for them. Because like AJ, not that, yeah, because like AJ's like where he came from to go there or whatever. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. The face that runs the place. No. And then November 10th on Raw, Dominic Mysterio 1-on-1. John takes the Intercontinental Championship. The next week on Raw, as the Intercontinental Champion, he does the 6-man. It's his final match on Raw. Obviously, Survivor Series, he does the job to Dominic Mysterio. Dominic wins the belt back. And, of course, Saturday night's main event against Gunther in a loss. Of the whole run, let me see here. Technically, the Rumble was a loss, so that's 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, 6-4, 7-4, no contest, 7-5, 8-5, 9-5, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7 is his record for the final tour. So he didn't Super Cena. He didn't go all the way through. He won 2 championships within this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, not only did he get 17, not only did he give the Intercontinental title
for the Grand Slam. For the Grand Slam.
Right, but it also, to me, like we go back to some of the old conversations we've had. One of my biggest gripes that nothing else mattered but the big titles, and then when it got merged, it got even worse because everything was just on Roman and it all was one thing. And my one thing is, like, we need to start getting some more prestige back on these titles, and that's what they've done over time. Yeah. But this also gives it. He actually gave that a little bump. I feel like he gave that title a rub as well. Not to say that the people before that he did it on his own, they were like Gunther, like the run that title had before it got here was good. Dominic's doing a fantastic job. But this actually gave that rub. And then also for him to have his last match on a Saturday night main event and not WrestleMania, like on a Saturday, gives that show more prestige. Like John Cena's final match was on one of their newest programs.
Well, that was another thing. That was the last Saturday night's main event I didn't know this at the time, but apparently that was the last Saturday night's main event that's going to air on Peacock.
Mm.
Their agreement comes to an end, and that was the last show. So for their last show with NBC, they gave them John Cena.
And I'm assuming they're going to move the package somewhere else.
Well, according to this, the next time that they are going to do Saturday night's main event is going to be January 24th. It's going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Center.
On?
Does not say, actually. Let me see. Nope. It doesn't say. Oh, it does say it will be. So then why did they announce it as a farewell thing? All right. Maybe it's on Wikipedia. This is Wikipedia, but it says that it's going to be on Peacock. But they announced after
maybe
the
they just didn't update it or whatever.
It might not have, yeah.
Who knows? But at the end of the day, let's just say that they are selling the package somewhere else. What better way to sell it than selling you a package where Cena's final? You know what I mean? Like the prestige he just gave that event.
Great, yeah.
He gave, how many wrestlers gave an event the rub? That's what he just did. Like, he gave one of the programs a rub. Like that's, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. I know we just walked down it. Things happen, but again, I mean that's just a comment to this man's whole career, right? Like,
yeah,
he has every. Let's say it went exactly the way you said, where things were getting fucked up. He was being forced to make pivots. He's being forced to do something he really doesn't want to do. Is that not John Cena in a nutshell? Like, Mr. Get It Done no matter what. Like, follow through. I'm not saying he didn't complain. I don't know that to be true or not. But there's nothing for me to say that he did do that. And he did nothing but try to fully commit. And with that narrative that you are saying, if it is indeed true, you can tell the moment he made that little quick segment where what was the joke where he made a segment? It was like, it was someone else who did it, not him. I forget what it was, but I remember watching it and I'm like, wait, is that it? Like, is he a face again? Like, is that are we the good guys now? And it really you kind of like feel that transition. Like he felt like he was back. Like, all right, let's finish this strong at least. You know what I mean? Like you can feel it in the program that he was doing. So I don't know. I think it was a success to answer your question at the top again. We'll see what he does now because he's not gone. He's just not wrestling anything.
Yeah, and he just signed a 5-year deal to be an ambassador, which means he'll be making appearances under the WWE umbrella. But the question I asked at the beginning, what is success? And the reason why I asked it and then followed it with the schedule is because there isn't a definition for it. It's all subjective, right? So for John, I'm sure there's a strict definition because your level of success is based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. I can't imagine that John Cena has something left on the table that he didn't accomplish. In his mind, I'm sure that this run was a success. And to add to not only what he was able to achieve, but to your point, what better way to end his career than in a shit show clusterfuck like situation and doing what he always says. Every interview you ever hear John Cena, excuse me, where he says that one of the biggest aspects of his career was made him the most success is that he would take whatever it is that they gave him and tried to make this shit work. Mm-hmm. Did it work every time? No. Mm-mm. Sometimes it doesn't work. But the attempt is what makes it the most important. Take what they give you, try to make this shit work. And that's what he did. That's what he did this entire run. So if you're looking into the spirit of John Cena, of what he's done in his career, to me, this lived up to all of that. Now, if you're the kid who grew up to become an adult and you look at this industry through the prism of where he's my hero and like John Wayne kind of situation where, you know, John Wayne never did a job for the Indians, you know what I'm saying? He walked off into the sunset and he was the man. If that's what you were looking for, like I said during the Christmas time, I can't fault you for that. I really can't. It is what it is. Childlike admiration, and I'm not saying that as a negative. You can be an adult and still have childlike admiration. But I'm going to base the level of success of this tour based on how John feels about it, and it looks like John's okay with it. So if John's okay with it, I'm okay with it. If you had different expectations, I'm not going to shit on you for it. I get it. I understand. We all want to see our heroes exist in a certain way. I get it. But this run right here, the 36 dates, the matches that we just ran down, that's the way that he wanted to go. That's the way that he wanted to go. And I didn't put the
Well,
banner.
no, to your comment, even if it isn't the way he wanted it to go, the John Cena way is that's the way it went. We did what we had to do to get it done.
Did what we had to
That's
do,
it.
man. That's
Whether
it.
he wants it or not, we made it work the best we could. That's it.